I'm sitting here with the lovely, beautiful Moneoa. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
We're
trying.
No, you're not trying. You're in it, girl. Take us back to when this all started. You are a dancer by profession.
Yes.
So have you always wanted to be a dancer before?
Yes. I always wanted. Originally, I did. Initially, my association with the industry preferably would have been for me to become a dancer. However, life steers us in different directions and deviates us from our initial goals, and I ended up singing, which I found great comfort in, and I found that musically I resonate better with singing as opposed to dancing.
So what motivated, what really made you say, singing, this is my thing, this is the route I'm now taking? What happened?
I don't know. I guess just life in general. I can't really describe what the actual reason was. I think I've always fallen in love with music, but I think I just fell in love with singing. I mean, I wanted to be a singer when I was young, but I was more focused on my dancing. And then when I got this side, I met my previous managers, and they sort of steered me towards that direction. And at that time, I was still writing poetry, and then they advised that I turn my poems into songs. And we did that, and I turned one poem into a song, and then I started singing melodies to it, and then my producer then, Mike Masuku, he put a melody together, and then one thing led to another, and then hey man, we had a song, and then I was like, hey, I like this whole singing thing. Do another one, another poem, and then turn that into a song, and then another one, and then another one. Before we knew it, we had an album. So that was pretty awesome. That was amazing.
Have your family always been supportive about this? Did they ever think that being into music is something you can really have a decent career with?
Oh no, definitely not. My family is musically orientated, but it's more like a we like listening to music. But in terms of our future and, substantial careers, music was certainly at the bottom of the list. I mean, my dad was extremely upset. My mother, not as upset, but
maybe
similarly. Yeah, there was I don't know, somewhat the same. But my mom's not very expressive. My dad threw a tiff. He was just he took my car. He went back, and my mom was disappointed, but she sort of understood the boundaries that, okay, at the end of the day, it's not my life, it's my daughter's life, and I have to allow her to make her decisions and her choices the way that she wants to. And I know that they really didn't think it was going to happen. I mean, I know my mom believed in me, my dad believed in me, but I know that under the circumstances, you don't think that your child's going to be the one to make it. You don't think that your child can actually, you see this happening, all these little kids in the world trying to make it, and it's like, shame, sissy, disappointment, next time, type of thing, Yeah. So with me, they were shocked. My first attempt to break into the music industry was a success with my initial album, with my debut album coming from Going 2 and 3 #1 hits and all these amazing collaborations. The next thing, their daughter's all over TV and people are talking about this. Moneoa, there's a buzz behind his name, Moneoa, and they're just like, what is going on?
Maybe.
What is going on here? And then obviously once there's a buzz about you, there's a demand, the albums sell, there's gigs, you actually make a living out of this. Then I'm moving out of home, then I'm getting myself in my own things, and then my mom's like, girl, you need to buy me something. What is going on here? How's about you hand me over some of that money, girl? And then thereafter, when she saw that actually, you know what, this girl actually went after her dreams and she actually did it, then they felt a whole lot more comfortable.
Especially your dad, that's when he's like, okay.
Yeah, that's when my dad started embracing. He was like, that's my girl. That is my child right there.
I supported her from the
I am the one who planted that seed.
It's usually like that with dads, I must say. Yeah. So tell us, before your first album, what exactly was going on there? What type of challenges would you say you faced? Before releasing that first album?
Wow, a lot of challenges. I think I was sort of coming into myself, and I was sort of starting to embrace myself as the person that I am and the person that I want to be and the person that I had to be. And, as people, we don't know how to embrace ourselves. I don't think, I think probably 95% of the world has no clue who they really are. And you only start getting to know yourself through really, really difficult experiences, because the way that you handle things sort of determines the type of person, the type of character that you are. And sometimes you surprise yourself until like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I went through this and I came out strong. And then you start realizing that actually maybe I am a strong person, I'm this type of person, I have this, and then, you know, so I think it's circumstances and just, you know, fate itself that sort of helps us get to know ourselves. So that was my biggest challenge, coming into myself, understanding who I am. For the longest time, I told myself that I was content with life because I felt okay. Sometimes when you feel okay right now, you feel like, hey, I am content, I'm good, I'm happy. But then, you know, when you lay your head to sleep at night, your demons come back to visit you and to haunt you. And then you realize, okay, maybe I'm not so okay. Or maybe sometimes when you're put in a situation where, you know, you're tested by something or someone, and then your reaction to it is sort of not what you would expect to be, or you feel things that you weren't expecting to feel because you were under the impression that you were okay. And then God tests you, and then you realize, actually, maybe I'm not okay.
Yet there.
You know what I mean? But we put it aside because we don't go through things every day. Sometimes we naturally feel okay. So we convince ourselves that we're okay, even though there's trouble brewing in your spirit, you know? So those are the things that I was realizing about myself, that for years I was holding on to pain and trials and tribulations in my history and in my past that I thought I had gotten over, that I hadn't. But I had more like a sort of suppressed them and put them aside, put them on ice, so to speak, for lack of a better word. And was going to address them much later on, or whenever, or not address them at all. You don't really think about these things. So obviously going through what I went through, the challenges in general, you know, financial issues, boys,
boys, and they always an issue for almost every.
I don't know what God planted in men to make them so damn troublesome. But anyway. But yes, boys, friends, financial issues, emotional issues, you know, life in general. Sometimes you have a good day, sometimes you have a bad day, you know. Going through that, I realized that, okay, the way that I'm handling things, I'm not okay. And I need to sort of come into myself. I need to be stronger. I need to handle things better. And thereafter, you know, when my career happened and I got all these blessings, and it just came in abundance. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, more and more and more and more and more. Yes. It happened so fast. I mean, some people wait years before they get their big break. And in my first 3 months of my career, that's it. Boom, made it. So it really turned my life, made me see life differently. And it made me realize that actually, girl, there actually really is that light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
And after that, I think things got better. I learned the way that I embraced my life was I was a little easier on myself. And in being that way, in changing my attitude towards the way that I feel about myself, I changed my life completely. And even though sometimes I still go through the same challenges, however, the way that I handle myself, my approach is different. I'm way more positive. I embrace it in a beautiful manner, as opposed to that whole, oh God, not this again. Oh no, Lord, not another trial, tribulation.
Yes.
It's a more positive outcome because of the positive approach. So, I think that was my biggest challenge coming into myself. And now I don't worry about anything. Like I don't worry about money and whatever. I mean, obviously, I want to be smart about my investments in my future, but money is not so much of a priority to me as it was before. Not because I'm rich, because I'm not. I'm not rich.
You're getting there. Maybe you don't want us to know.
Don't get it twisted. I'm rich. However, I am working towards that. And even though sometimes, even now, in my, you know, success, I do go through, I'm supporting a lot of people in my life. So I do go through some, you know, speed humps every now and then.
Of course.
But for the most part, I don't worry about things. I don't worry about people. I don't worry about money. I don't worry about anything other than my own happiness. Because at the end of the day, I think that's what's most vital. I don't think heaven's waiting on your investments and your nice cars and how much money you have.
Oh no, you go just the way you are.
Exactly.
You leave everything behind.
Exactly.
You know, talking especially about the money area, when you were starting up, of course, you were not yet getting gigs, all sorts of things happening your way.
Yeah.
And then you had on the other side your mom kind of supporting it, your dad saying, hell no. How did you balance it off? You know, being able to now say, okay, I need to record this, I need to move, I need to do this. But financially, you know, it's a bit of a hiccup. How did you go through that phase in life?
I have no idea. Like I said, it was like it was the experiences in general that helped me, come out of it strong. But also the fact that my attitude changed at some point, it really, really helped. My dad, I wouldn't say my dad had financial challenges. My mom had financial challenges. My parents aren't together, by the way. And my mom, I think, my mama and I had sort of like a really, really difficult life between Durban and coming into Joburg. When she got to Joburg, she was fine. She got a new job and, she was cool. But in Durban, things were really, really the most difficult financially. And even now, she's as stable as she is, as cool as she is. Like my mom's, making some big moves and bold moves herself. I'm very proud of her. It still just feels nice to help her financially. Not help her. I'm not helping her because she doesn't need my help, but to just contribute. Yeah, because it's my mom.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So it was pretty much mostly the attitude towards it that really helped us get out of there, or helped me get out of there. But yeah, it wasn't so much as a challenge as my emotional side was.
And now that you're in the industry, what sort of challenges would you say you're facing?
Wow. I wouldn't call them challenges. See, I don't like the word challenge. I don't know why I use it so much.
Which one do you like?
I don't know, how do I describe it? They're not really challenges because I don't want to, like I said, my approach towards life in general is different. I don't want to look at something like it's a challenge, even though it is, technically, by technical standards. I don't want to look at it that way. So for me, it's not really a challenge. It's more like a test. Not a test. Like what? Sort of like an aspect to. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not as difficult as it looks. That's how I'm going to look at it. It's not so hard to get through it, and some of the things that I go through in the industry that are not so hard to get through. I guess, this industry has a way of testing you, also your character. I mean, when you're in the limelight, people look at you differently. People behave differently towards you because people see you're no longer Moneoa, sweatpants, chilled, hey girl, what's up? You're not that girl anymore. Now all of a sudden you're that girl. And the thing is, you don't bring that about yourself. You don't necessarily change. You're not the one who brings that out of yourself. It's the limelight in general that makes people feel like, because for example, I make an example, people who look at Beyonce, they're people that have known Beyonce for years, and there are people who grew up with Beyonce, but they wouldn't go up to Beyonce and be like, hey girl, what's up girl?
Exactly.
Third grade when we were chilling and eating our Oreos and Ash girl. They're not going to do that because now she's Beyonce. However, Beyonce wasn't the one that brought that out of you, not to go up to her and approach her. To Beyonce, you probably can go up to her and approach her and be like, girl, what's up? And she'll probably be like, hey girl, what's up? But because now, to the world, she's Beyonce, she's unapproachable to you. It's different. And it's not necessarily that something that she brings out of you.
Exactly.
It's just the situation itself. So when people behave differently towards me, people that I've known for years, or people in general behave differently towards me, it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable because now you make me feel like I'm this superhuman. And my everyday life is not made up of my celebrity. My everyday life is not made up of the limelight. My everyday life is made up of me as Moneoa, the same Moneoa that I was when I was born up until now. Exactly. But now the way that you treat me like, oh my God, it's Moneoa. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes I'll be like, obviously I've gotten used to how to react to that now, how to handle that, but it just makes me feel so uncomfortable because now I feel like, okay, what do I do?
What do I do? Yes.
I know
yes,
yes, I am.
Years ago.
Yes, would you like an autograph? Do I laugh high pitch? Do I behave?
How am I supposed
to react to this?
Exactly.
So that for me is a bit uncomfortable, and there's a little bit of a challenge, that and many other things, and because people treat you like that, sometimes you kind of feel like, okay, maybe I am a little bit of a hey. And then that also sometimes, sort of channels out negative aspects of you. So you have to bring yourself down to earth and remember Moneoa. Remember who you are, girl.
Yeah, don't let
the fame get to you. And it just crawls. Fame is hectic. It just crawls into your skin. It comes out of nowhere. Next thing you find yourself wearing shades and you're that girl on some. Hello. You don't even know what's happening. Wait, did I just say hello, high pitch?
Exactly.
Hello, hi. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you kind of always have to keep yourself grounded, and you have to keep the people around you grounded, because you will have those people, those friends that'll be like, yeah, that was my girl, and then they'll be like, yeah, girl, let's go be those girls. We're hot, we're that, and they'll bring that out of you. The next thing you find yourself feeling like, yeah, you're
doing
right.
the same thing.
You know what I mean? So you have to keep yourself surrounded with people that are grounded and just humble and down to earth. People such as my family and my close friends that I've had from day one. So it does. That's also a challenge, and also expectations. People expect you, because now you're a celebrity. People expect you to be rich. They expect you to drive nice cars and live in these beautiful houses. And when they see that actually you're living a pretty normal life, they're just like, oh my God,
what is going on there?
Oh my God, you know what I mean? They see you out here wearing a skirt from, I don't know, Legit, or in fact Legit. Actually, I still shop at Legit. Actually, one of my close friends maybe just had
Shally the other time said Mr. Price. Now it's
hell yeah, I'll shop at Mr. Price.
Mr. Price, because you can't
yes.
Mr. Price stuff.
Now, I'll shop at Mr. Price. If it means that I'm going to be sitting at home, whatever, chilling or day-to-day business, yes, I will shop at Mr. Price. And people don't understand that. People expect you. I mean, Beyonce shops at Topshop, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
I have the same bikini as Beyonce. But you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're still a normal human being. But people, because you're in the limelight, people expect you to be this bougie
I don't want to
person.
see it.
So when they see it, Mr. Price, they'll make you feel
Not
uncomfortable.
even Pick and Pay.
You know what I mean?
Woolies.
You know what I mean? They make you feel uncomfortable for shopping at places that they shop at too.
Exactly.
They make you feel uncomfortable for being normal. So if somebody sees me at Mr. Price, they'll be like, oh my God, Moneoa has got it bad. I saw her at Mr. Price and she was shopping for shoes. You know what I mean?
I know.
They'll make, why should I feel bad for shopping at Mr. Price? I shop at Mr. Price for the same reason you shop at Mr. Price.
Exactly.
There's nice clothes for cheap price.
Exactly.
Whatever I want to buy cheap clothes. I don't want to buy Louis Vuittons all the time and Gucci's and Versace. That's not my personality. Even if I could afford all of them. If I saw something nice that I liked that wasn't expensive, then I'll buy it because I like it. That's just how I am. So that just expectations are just a headache.
I know, it becomes too much.
Yes, and of course the privacy, criticism, invasion of privacy, criticism, anything, little thing. When you're a celebrity, you're not allowed to make mistakes.
Oh yes, you have to be the perfect
You have to be
person,
perfect. If you make a mistake, if you say the wrong thing, then there's, you can't believe you said that.
Exactly.
Moneoa, you're being a human being.
Social
oh my God.
Media.
She's a human. Oh my God. She's supposed to be supernatural.
Exactly.
Like I'm a human being. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna do things I'm not necessarily proud of. We're not Jesus Christ. I'm not meant to do things perfectly. Jesus is the perfect human, or was the perfect example of humanity, because he was Jesus Christ, because he's the Son of God. I may be the daughter of God, but I am not in the form of Jesus. You know what I mean? We praise Jesus. We give him the glory. He is our Lord and our Savior. However, we are not him.
We are not perfect.
We are still not Jesus. You know what I mean? We're human. We are flesh. We are human. And people don't understand that. So it's also
I guess it's part of it.
Girl, it's difficult.
And being so beautiful that you are, and knowing that the industry, we do get men that try their luck. How have you managed to handle such situations?
Oh, girl, let me tell you. Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I really have to comment that.
Caught me off guard there, girl. Good question, by the way. How do I handle it? I don't want to be associated with a lot of guys. Particularly because the minute you associate with a lot of guys, people immediately assume that it's more than what it is. People immediately assume that there's sex involved, there's this, there's that. You know what I mean? People automatically, once you associate yourself with a certain guy, especially, in that way, people immediately assume that, okay, you've gone there.
Yes.
And I'm just not that kind of girl. So I don't really entertain much of that. I don't want to entertain guys like that. I want to sort of focus on my career. However, when a nice guy does come along, then I will give him that chance to take me to dinner and get to know him and take it from there. But being in the limelight, it's very, very hard to sort of pick. I'm very, you have to nitpick. Because
yes, you need to
some
know
guys
who wants you for
you. Yes.
And maybe for the brand.
Absolutely. Some guys are attracted to you because of who you are. Absolutely. So I have to nitpick. And it takes a lot of time to nitpick, because some guys are really charming and they have their game tight.
Exactly.
And it's just perfectly, everything is just perfect, like perfect proportion of a man. and you have to sort of take a step back and be like, okay, put your attraction aside and evaluate this person for who they are. And it gets difficult, especially when you're single. Girl, those lonely nights are hard to come by. So you think about these things, so when the opportunity presents itself, you're sort of like, whoop, hello.
Okay, but I have to wait a little, you know?
But then you have to, sort of take a step back and be like, okay, girl, breathe, okay, chill out. So I'm very picky, extremely picky, sometimes too picky. And it frustrates a lot of guys, but it works for me. And at the end of the day, it's worked out for the best.
So we go with that.
Yeah,
that's the way. And so what can we expect from you, let's say, in the next 5 years? What exactly do you have planned?
Wow, what do I have planned? A lot. Right now, I just, there was the Clash of the Choirs. I had my own choir.
Yes.
And from the choir of 20 peeps, choir members, I took about 8 of them and I just most recently formed a group. The name of the group is Tina, which means us,
yes, in
Xhosa and Zulu. And I brought them up to Joburg. We recorded, got a studio, recorded them, wrote their songs, wrote some of the songs for them. And recorded them, and we are mixing and mastering the singles now, and we're going to send them to radio, and I'm going to sign them to my record label that I will be officially
that's what I was about to ask,
registering this week. So
beautiful.
I'm really, really excited about that. And Manini Entertainment, they're going to be part of that, and then we'll take it from there. If I feel like come at least June, I have enough of a budget to sort of take them on and nationalize the project and take them where they deserve to go, then I'll definitely sign them, most definitely. And then if not, then I'll pass them over to a label that I know that I can trust that will take care of them. And obviously maintain a close relationship with the label for their sake, just to make sure that I'm there, to direct and guide and mentor them into the industry. There's a few things I'm working on this year, and I'm really, really hoping and praying that
and it will work out.
It will. It
definitely
will. Have faith. So much has worked out already, girl. So you can only look to the faith and have faith.
That's the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for joining me here.
This was so much therapeutic conversation, girl.
Yes, that was a session.
So alive. I feel like I could go out and climb Mount
Exactly.
Everest
I'm ready to go out there and conquer. That's the way. And viewers, thank you for watching.